Okay, right now what we're going to learn how to do is we're going to learn how to take points that we've collected and plot them in Geogebra. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go up to View, and click on the Spreadsheet option, and this should pop up. What you're able to do, if you want, you can adjust it so it shows more or less. Today all we need is the A, B, and C columns, so I'll just shrink it a little bit. What we want to do is we want to create columns, and we want to have names for each of those columns. And we know that when we're plotting points that there are X values and that there are Y values. So what we'll do is create a column for the X's. You got to put it in quotations, that way Geogebra won't read X as a variable. So just put it in quotations with the Y's, and then we'll have points. Close the quote. So now what you can do is you can start putting in the points that you've collected. So let's say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's some points for the X's, and then for the Y's, it could be something like equals the X value times 2. Drag that down by clicking on the bottom right hand corner, and here are all our Y values. Notice each one of them is double the X value. Now before we can create the points, what we need to notice is that our X values are going up to 7, which we can see on our scale. That's fine because our scale goes all the way up to 8, but our Y values go all the way up to 14, and what we have now only goes up to 6. So we have a couple options. We can adjust it manually, which we learned how to do already by just clicking on the scale and moving it like this, or you can right click on the scale, go to X, Y axis, and you can change the ratio. So we can say that the Y axis will be 2 times greater than the X axis, or 5 times greater. Okay, and we'll see what 2 times greater looks like. It goes up to 12. It still doesn't help us because we know it goes up to 14, so for now I'll just manually adjust it so it shows 14. Now we need to create the points. We need to plot the points that we've already collected. And so what you do is you go equals, parentheses, 1, comma, 2, and you can see it's A2 and B2, which is where the cells are, where the data is. You hit enter. And drag it down, the bottom right hand corner, click on it and drag it down, and here we have all the points that we've collected that we wanted to plot. Now there may be times when we already know what the coordinates are of the points that we want to plot, so in that case we wouldn't need this X column and this Y column. So if we were to start from scratch, we just delete everything we have here. Okay, we just create a column called points. Make sure you put it in quotations. And then you just start entering the points that you already have. So in this case 1, comma 2, 2, comma 4, and so on. As you keep plotting, as you keep writing each point, it should show up over here in the sketch area. I should point out also that had you recorded all the data in an Excel document, instead of putting all the data here in the space that Geogebra already has, you can easily copy and paste all the information straight from Excel and into Geogebra. So now that we have all of our points plotted and shown up on the sketch, what we want to do is we want to create a line that goes through all of those points. There's 2 steps to that. The first one is we need to create a list. And so you go down here to the bottom left to the command space, and you type in cell range. It should pop up. You just click on it. And what it's going to ask you for is what's the start cell and what's the end cell. So in our case, our start cell is over here. You can see A2. And our end cell is A8. Hit enter, and it creates a list for us, and you can see it shows up in the top left. Next thing we want to do is we want to match a line to these points that we plotted. So what you do is you go fit, and we want a polynomial, so you can either start typing it, it will pop up POLY, you click on that, and it wants to know what list of points, so we're going to type in list 1, and then it wants to know the degree. In our case, because it's just a straight line, our degree is 1. So you enter, and we have a line that fits right over our points that we've plotted.